Hello everyone, this is Wilvin and I'm back with the second part of my spotlight slash how-to on mod packs and mod launchers. So in this one I'm going to talk about your three main mod launchers, Technic, Feed the Beast, and ATLauncher. So to start off, we'll go with a Technic. So get this all loaded up. Technic is probably the first one I ever used. I'm not sure if it's the oldest one, but it was the first one that I learned, oh, well, I can have packs that already did all the work for me of adding mods. And there's a lot to each one of these mod launchers. And as you can see, and also as I mentioned in my last video, they have some that they've done and added into the system. And then usually the ones that they've added are pretty stable and you shouldn't have any issues when you load them. Technic's probably most famous or popular one is Techit, which is this one. It's been around for quite a while. It has a lot of mods in it that like industrial mods that people enjoy, and there's a lot of let's plays and that different YouTubers have done using Techit. It's kind of fallen out of favor anymore because with the other mod launchers have stuff that's I wouldn't say better, but it's just more popular. And then you have Hexit, which is more of an adventure mod pack. It has like different dungeon spawning, kind of a magic system. And then you have Attack of the B Team, which is I think their newest one, which kind of makes it more hardcore. It adds harder mobs and everything into that. So let's go to their website. As I said in my previous video, Techit has a ton of mod packs. It's insane how many they have. They have their main ones, Techit, Hexit, B-Team, Techit Lite, Techit Classic, Big Dig, and Volts. And that's the ones that the Technic team have done themselves. But then they have a bunch of ones that individuals not related to them have done. And like I said in the previous, they have a ton of, see, each one of these pages has, let's say, around 10 mod packs to each page. And since last episode, it looks like there's been a couple added. And then I just did the video earlier today. Unless I misread them. It's up to 6,676 pages. That's a lot of mod packs to sort through. And each one, I mean, if there's a specific set of mods you want to play, Technic most likely has a mod pack that has just those in it. The problem is finding them. It's not a very good system. You can't go by, I want to find a mod pack that has X, Y, and Z mods, and I only want those mods. You can't really search that way. You pretty much have to just go through every one of them and click on them and say, does this have what I want? And as I said before, this is one of those slow loading websites. Like I clicked on this one and then it's still trying to load it. Sometimes it'll crash. I hope it doesn't do it while I'm doing this video, but usually each page you go to will especially a lot of these the front ones that have a lot of well, their version of liking will have what's in it, what you need to do, if you want to donate to the person that made the mod pack. And sometimes they'll list the mods on the front page. Sometimes, like this has mod list, and as you can see, this mod pack has a ton of mods. So at least this will give you an idea of what's in there. As I previously mentioned, they have a good system of what is popular by what's liked. As you can see, Crafting the Dead mod pack is the highest rated one. So a lot of people really love this mod pack, or have loved it. It just kind of stacks on from when it was on to recently, so this one could have fallen out of favor, but since it's had previous likes on it, it's still #1. And then you have mod packs that are based on Let's Plays by famous YouTubers, like Ultramod Survival, based on Captain Sparkle's Let's Plays, and the Diamond Minecart, which is based on that channel. And they kind of get inflated, these likes, especially the ones done by YouTubers, because they might not have made this mod pack and put it on Technic. A fan did it and put it on. As I said before in the last video, I think Captain Sparkles did his own, and so what you see on here is something a fan made, and I don't know about this one. The other thing is some of these mod packs are based on server play. They have big commercial servers, and some of the incentives for people to use them is they say, oh, well, if you go on the Technic website and like us, and you give us a screenshot of your liking and send it to us, we'll give you such and such gifts or perks to be in on our server. Which really I have no problem with that. The only issue I have is it inflates these numbers. So if you say, oh, well, I don't think there's a one Ultramod Survival is one of these, but as an example, say you say, oh, well, this one has 6,160 likes, so it must be a really good server or mod pack, and you get to playing it, and you go on the server and you get griefed all the time, or you just really don't like it, it's really slow loading, or resources are always gone, they don't update it much. It kind of ruins your outlook on that mod pack. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Just because it has a high rating doesn't necessarily mean it's a great mod pack. There might be other things that inflate the numbers. So you have to keep that in mind when you pick one of these. So, but as I said, there are a ton of them you can look through, and if you go to the last ones, wait for it to load up. Like the last page is like either newest ones that have been added, or whatever. And as you see, these have no likes yet. Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. These might be up and coming ones, you just never know. It's just they were just most recently added. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can really tell, but right here it says created August 23rd, 2014, which is today. It was updated 5 minutes ago. That was just added. So it might not be a bad one, but you just don't know. And then you have something like this. They don't even have a name. They just put a bunch of letters together and added it on. But that could be just a test. I mean, they might be testing their mod packs and added it on here. It might be taken off and when they have it more centralized or working. You never know. So that's pretty much what you have for Technic. Let's go back to the front page, and I'll go into crafting the dead. Okay, so how you add stuff that's not already pre-put on here. They have an area that says add new mod pack. If you click on that, it says paste the URL here. If you go back over here, you'll see this on the pages. If you put copy URL, it's copied it to your clipboard. Then you just paste it. So it's going, okay, well, you've added this mod pack. So now, if you go down, you see this. And when you hit play, it will download everything you need to play that. Good thing about mod loaders is whenever there's updates, it'll prompt you to update it. You don't necessarily have to, but sometimes you don't really have an option. But it gives you that instead of having to manually do it with some of the, like multi-MC. So it gives you a real easy way to add mod packs. Like I said, the downsides to Technic is personally I think there's just way too many to go through to find what you're looking for, and there's no real easy way to filter out what you want. Another thing is some mod packs, there's one that's on here, it's called Cake. Is it Cake Pack? Oh, just kind of think it's thinking. What it is, it's a really good mod pack. Which one is it? Cake Box. This one is I think it's done by the same group that did Captain Sparkle's Ultramod Survival. And it's a really good mod pack, but I found a few little issues with it. It has so many mods and it has a lot of agriculture mods. Let's go into here. That the one mod I really wanted to play or use, Botania, it wouldn't load flowers because it had to add so much different types of plant life that it decided not to put that in. You can do all the crafting and everything like that. You go in to NEI and it shows you recipes to use Botania, but there's no way to get the flowers. which is the only way you can really start on it. So it's kind of wasted having that in there, because then you have, I think it's got Harvest Craft, it's got Agriculture, yeah, and then it's got Herbology. It's got a lot of mods that use plants, so some of them don't load. And you have to, and that's the bad thing about these mod packs. They have a ton of, look at this. This has like a lot of mods in it. And that's the only one I know right offhand that has issues. It won't load the plants. And you might find that also with some that have a lot of the same ores. It might say, oh, well, there's just way too many ores that I need to spawn, so I'm just going to load these ones, but not these ones. So a lot of these bigger mod packs, you might have that issue. It's a really good mod pack, don't get me wrong. What does work on here works very well. It really doesn't have too many issues loading, but it's has the issue where, like I said, there's just some that it doesn't want to load. And that brings me to the last thing about, well, it kind of goes with any of these that have a lot of mods. The more mods you add to your game, the less, like, I wouldn't say stable, but you could be playing and it will all of a sudden decide to crash on you. That's typically just like I was playing one the last month or two that be working fine, but it just, you go into a new area and it takes forever to load. And it's because of that it has to go through all these different mods and add the stuff that's in those mods. You can, if you have a ton of memory in your computer, you can up that up, but even that really doesn't do much to help you on loading, and it can still crash your system. So that's a thing to realize, is the more mods you have loaded, it can cause a lot of performance issues, and it can even crash your game. And sometimes the crashes are really bad that it corrupts everything, so you basically have to start all over again unless you've made a copy of your game save, and then just kind of switch out your save to one that's not been corrupted. But then again, you have to, what you've played until that point is gone. So that's something to remember about. The more mods, you're more likely to have that issue, and there's not too much you can really do about it. Like I said, adding memory helps, because see, like on mine for Technic, I have 5 gigs of memory devoted to it, which is kind of a little too much. I might bump that down. 4 gigs is pretty good to have. So, but it helps a lot. But even then, even adding more memory to dedicated just to that mod pack may not help anything. So, anyways, like I said, a lot of good mods in a Technic, but as a whole, I just find it has just way too many mods that you have to look for, and they're not really discriminate on who adds mods to the launcher. So with that, we'll go on to the next one, which is Feed the Beast. And this is probably one of the most popular mod launchers. and with good reason. It's very stable. The mods they have are ones they've built. They're opening it up to others, but a lot of these ones like Monster, Horizon, Tech World are ones they've put together and they have going and they're stable. So you shouldn't have any issues if you start playing them. And say I wanted to do Monster, I can just hit launch, click on it, hit launch, and it downloads everything. Once it's downloaded once, it's on your system. The one problem is when it does it, it tends, unless you make a folder for it to throw these mods in, it tends to want to throw them onto the desktop like this. But for Feed the Beast, I made a special folder and I told it, you know, if you want to install it into this folder, because otherwise it'll automatically just throw it in onto the desktop. And the same thing, you can change how much memory it uses. You can up it, lower it. Pretty good. They have the unstable version, which is where when mod authors are working on the new version of their mods, like this is saying 1.7.2, it's probably up to 10, but I think some of the mod authors are getting ready for 1.8. But the unstable is all these mods are still in basically in beta, so things can be changing, and they really don't recommend you play this because your system will crash and whatever. It's more of a testing pack. And as you can see, their main mods, they're getting ready to release new ones for 1.7.10, I think. But they just haven't gotten them up yet. The other thing is, unlike Technic, Direwolf20, he's the only major YouTube person that has a pack on Feed the Beast. He's directly involved with this because he mentions it in his Let's Plays, and they also, with their little news area, talk about, it's like right now they're talking about upgrading into 1.7.10, and like they mentioned, Direwolf hasn't really got with them yet on his new one, which he will, he just hasn't yet. But he's the only one YouTuber that I know has a pack on here. But they also are opening it up to third party, which others can add mod packs. But they're going to be very strict on what can be added, what can't. And they have a lot of really good third party ones. They have some, like this one is, there's a version in Feed the Beast, there's one in Technic, and there's one in ATLauncher. So that one's one that's kind of broad, it's on everything. But then they have a few that are specific to Feed the Beast, like Agrarian Skies and Crash Landing, which are hardcore games. And these two are becoming very popular. There's a ton of videos out for Crash Landing. That's the new big one. But there's still a lot of videos for Agrarian Skies. But as I said, they're opening it up. But as you can see, they still don't have a lot yet. But they're going to be adding more. They're going to be more strict on what can be put onto their launcher, which is very good. It won't I don't think they'll have the issue that Technic has with there's just way too many to look through and figure out. And with each mod, both the third party and there, when you click on it, it basically tells you what mods are in it. So you can quickly look, okay, it has all the mods I want. Granny Skies isn't really a good one to point that out, because a lot of these are redone, or recipes are redone specifically for this Let's Play or this mod pack. But in their main ones like Monster, you can look through and say, okay, well, this has everything I want. I think I'll want to play this one. So you can see it easier than some of the other ones. And you can also, it has texture packs, not a lot, but they have a few that you can say, oh, well, I like this texture pack, we can put it into my game. So Feed the Beast is really popular, and a lot of people really love the Feed the Beast launcher. And I think for their website, they have one of the best wikis. You just click on any of them and it gives you more details of everything about this mod pack, all the mods that are in it. And if you click on the mod, let's find a good one. Let's click on, for this one, we'll click agriculture. It gives you a pretty decent wiki on what you need for agriculture. And agriculture doesn't. Let's click on genetics. As you can see, it gives you a lot of information about this mod. Overview, tutorials. Some of them will get down to telling you everything about the different tools and blocks that are in it. So I think Feed the Beast has one of the best wikis about the game, or mod packs. So as I said, Feed the Beast is a really good mod launcher. So let's go into the last one, which, as in my previous video, I mentioned that this is one I really like. And as I said before, I ain't saying that Feed the Beast and Technic are bad, because they're not. They're really, they do their job and do it very well. But this has options in it that I really like. So on here, it has quite a few preloaded mod packs, and a few of the bigger mod Let's Play channels are on here. Yogscast, Minecraft, Bevo. So, and I'm pretty sure that they're in contact, because the way ATL works. So it's, and all of these are really pretty stable. So, but what I really like about this launcher is instances, which is when you decide on a mod pack you want to do, it gives you the option to edit what is in there, what you want, what you don't want. Say I didn't want hats, which I really don't care for, but a lot of people like it. I can remove it, and it's taken out of the game. So it gives you a good way to take stuff out and add stuff. Sometimes when you first load a mod pack, They'll have some that close. I don't have one that's new, but sometimes you'll have some mods that aren't preloaded, but they will be over on this side disabled, and then you can do the opposite. You can click on them and add them over here. So it gives you a really good way to move the mods you want, mods you don't want. Gives you more freedom to use this mod and turn it into what you want. But the one thing that you have to watch is some of these mods that are on this side are core mods, and it's like this. I don't know if you can see it, but it says World Core is needed for Biomes of Plenty. So if I took this out, Biomes of Plenty won't work, and you can get errors. But the opposite, if I decided, oh, I don't want Biomes of Plenty, I can take that out, and that won't affect that being in there, because it's just these, like Code Chicken LIB is usually for the chicken bones mods, like Chunk Loader, and he has a few other ones. So you just gotta, and you can't really get rid of Forge. Nothing will work really if you don't have Forge in it. So you just kind of have to know which ones are mods and which ones are the base to other mods. So you can't just say, well, I don't want this, 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 and this, and then all of a sudden you come to find out, oh, well, I need that one to load this mod that I want. So you do have to kind of pay attention to which mod you take out. But it at least gives you this option to add or delete. Well, you don't really delete. It just takes it out, so it won't load those. So it's a really handy tool, which the other two, Technic and Feed the Beast, don't have anything like that. At least it's not out there where you can just hit a button, take it out, or add it back in. So in these ones, if you want to get rid of one particular mod, you have to pretty much go into the folder and take it out. As far as I know, there's no way that you can just click and take it out. So that's what really I like about this launcher. And I like a lot of the mod packs that are in here. As you can see, I have these three loaded. The one I'm really liking right now is this one, DNS. It's pretty stable. I mean, it's more recent. It's the 1.7 mods. It has a few issues because it does have a lot of mods in it. As you can see, quite a few in there. So it does at times have issues loading, but it's pretty stable, and it has a lot of the mods I like. And it does this. It doesn't have too many conflicting mods, like I said with the one that Britannia won't load its flowers, which is the very basic that you need to be able to use it. It doesn't have a lot of conflicting mods like a bunch of agriculture ones that wants to load a bunch of different flowers or plants, and it just can't load everything, so it just decides there's a certain mod it doesn't want. So but even if you did have that issue with any of these mod packs, you can just edit out and say, oh, okay, well, I'm not loading any of my Botania flowers, so I'm going to start a new game, but let's get rid of agriculture. Let's get rid of harvest craft, or some of these other ones that have plants that spawn. So it helps you out if there's something that you want. The downside is when it does an update, it typically likes, if you're not paying attention, it will re-add old mods back into the system. So you'll have to go back and take the mods out that you didn't want. Not that big of a deal, but it kind of gets annoying if you're not really paying attention. But it's something I can live with, to have this other option of being able to add and delete. And their website right here, it's not as great as the Feed the Beast wiki, but if you go in here, let's go all packs. If you click on one, and it loads pretty fast, you can actually click through the page to see what mods before you use them, and be able to get a good idea. And they usually have links to a website that, either say I wanted to look at Thaumcraft's website, it'll just direct me to Minecraft forums page on Thaumcraft, and then you can see all the information you want about that particular mod. So let's go back this way. And the thing is, they have 3 different types of packs that are on this loader. They have the public packs, which are all the ones that come preloaded onto the launcher. Preloaded is probably not the best way to say it, but the ones that you can quickly make a new instance of. And if you go down, you can find them all there. But it also has other packs, semi-public and private. If you go into one of those, once it loads, these are mod packs that you have to have permission to start using them. Some of them, God, I don't know why my internet's being so slow. Usually this website quickly loads. But as you can see, like this one, Beyond Reality, and DNS Toaster Edition, a lot of these ones are ones that you have to get permission. And they don't, on a lot of these, they don't really give you a way how you get permission. So you might have to research. They might have a website that you have to go to and say, well, I really want to play your mod pack, or what do I need to do to play it? And then you have the private, which I think it's just, I've never really used or looked at those, because I think that's just individuals. Maybe it's some YouTubers mod packs that they don't want everyone using them, so they just keep it private. But the good thing is, the good or bad thing about ATL is they're very strict on who adds packs to it, kind of like Feed the Beast is. And there's a process you have to go to get a pack approved. So not just anyone can say, oh, well, I'm going to throw this pack in and have everybody download it. And with this one, there's a big process you have to go through, because and like this, it's kind of get that's the wrong one I wanted. If you say get a pack, as you can see, this is telling you how you can do it, but you have to. There's a big process to it. If you'll see here, you have XML and API documentation. You have to follow this pretty to the letter. So not just anyone could really add to it. And as I mentioned, I like that because it doesn't have the Technic problem of, oh, I didn't mean to click onto that, but the Technic's problem of we have, 6,000 pages of mods that you have to go through, and so anyone can add a mod, or mod pack, I should say. And while I'm not knocking Technic for allowing people to do that, it really makes it hard to find what you want. But it gives you more options, whereas Feed the Beast and ATL, you're kind of limited on your options. But at least with these two, you know what you're getting, and you know that they'll work. So yeah, it's kind of a trade-off. Like I said, I don't say that, ATL, even though I like it, you might not like it. There might be things about it that you go, well, I don't like any of the mod packs that are on here. And same thing with Feed the Beast. And Feed the Beast, I play that quite a bit too, because it has Agrarian Skies, which I really love Agrarian Skies. I think it's a great mod pack. But it's all personal preference. But this video is just to show you your options, what they have in them, what's really good about each one, and what's really bad about each one. So, as everything, it's all up to personal preference. What I like, you might not like, but at least you've got a basic understanding of what you got in each one of them, and what you can do, what you can't do. So, as always, you just kind of have to experiment with each one. But at least maybe with this video you can say, well, okay, well, I know basically what I'm after, but I really don't want to get into Technic, so I'll just kind of see between Feed the Beast and ATL which one I like better, or vice versa. I don't like Feed the Beast, I'll try the other two, or well, the way you explain things, I like this one, and I won't try the other two. So it's up to you. In my previous video, I went into multi-MC, which if you want to learn more about that, just check out my other video. But multi-MC allows you to be able to add, do your own mod pack. And it actually makes it very easy to do it. But I'm not really going to get into that in this one. You can find how-to videos about multi-MC. And I kind of went over it a lot in my previous video. So, but it is an option if you want. So, with that, I'm going to end this up video. I might do another video sometime in the future spotlighting certain mods, not mod packs, just mods that I think add a lot to Minecraft, whether it's magic or tech, and it won't be your buildcraft or industrial craft, which are the big mod packs. These will be mod packs that you might not know about, or you might know about, but not realize what you can really do with them, because they haven't been around forever. So that might be a future episode. So until next time, I hope everyone has a good day, and this is Willin, and until next time, bye.